Hey there, beautiful souls, and welcome to the Midday Moment. I'm your host, Dr. Davina Jones, just as you need your physical exercises so that your body can move and get to where you need it to be and function. You need your spiritual exercises so that your soul can operate. It can move with you through life effectively. Your soul being your mind, your thoughts, your intellect, your filters, how you work through those thoughts, your heart, your emotions, your intuition, your feelings, and your will, how you act out all of that. That's your soul. And you need spiritual exercises so that soul is healthy, just like you need physical exercises so that your body is healthy. So, I desire to share with you, I share with you here the Midday Moment rather openly about my soul work so that I can be healthy and encourage you in your health. I have the great pleasure of serving as the assistant spiritual leader of today's church. Our headquarters is in Tampa Bay, Florida, and I also have the privilege of serving as the fivefold general for Church of the Everlasting Kingdom. And I enjoy growing in these communities and then sharing out loud my growth. Well, I have been specifically sharing from this catalog of affirmations. It's a catalog of affirmations. Your soul work. Sometimes we call it our prayer work, our spiritual exercises. We have specific definitions, but sometimes I just generalize it and I say the prayer work, affirmation work. So I won't go through the specific definitions today. I do that periodically, and I did it earlier this week. So I'm just gonna take the time to just go with this one thought. This book of affirmations, book of empowerment statements, is called Kingdom 365. We call it Kingdom because Kingdom is a system of being, knowing that you are divinity, that you are royalty. Yep, that you are divine, that you are part of a royal priesthood, a divine priesthood, that you are spiritual expression in the earth. And you have gifts, talents, and sensitivities that allow you to reign in certain domains, to show up in your highest self. So, all of that and some other stuff. We call it kingdom. It is a system of knowing, a system of seeing, hearing, thinking. And so, these are kingdom affirmations to support your awareness of your spiritual being, and who you are, and the idea of divine mind that you represent in the earth. hmm For example, I refer to myself as a bridge. That's my one word for life. That I most consistently show up as a bridge. I most consistently show up with the grace to get us through troubled waters. I most consistently show up with the grace to cross bridges, to cross over, to find the light so we can see our way to the other side of this situation, of this moment. That's how I most consistently show up. hmm in the earth. And so, kingdom affirmations, they help you to show up in your truth. You can get a copy, okay? You can email the author, Dr. Pulley, Doctor, Pulley, Pulley, at Gmail. And you can get a copy of these affirmations. They are organized by the day, the numerical day of the year. This is the 189th day of 2026. So I'm going to share the affirmation. It is faith based. You got to do what works for you. All right. It's faith based. It's based on the background is based on biblical texts and scriptures. Now remember, you can read the Bible literally. You can attempt to live the Bible literally. Good luck. You could also study the Bible literal for literature. Okay, as a literary text, a lot of worthy discussions from the standpoint of literature and history. You could also study the Bible and pull out life applications, spiritual concepts, principles to help you navigate. So my go-to example is I don't have a need to debate whether or not Jonah was in the belly of the whale for 3 days and 3 nights. What I do know is sometimes I feel like I'm in the belly of the whale. And so I study the nuances there to support my thinking so I can navigate my feeling of this belly of the whale and get out on the other side and get to where I'm called to be, whether it's Nineveh, Tampa, or wherever. It's life application for me. All right. All right. Day 189. It's something else, y'all. Listen. God is my judge. Therefore, you cannot judge me. I don't even judge myself. God is my judge. Therefore, you can't judge me. I don't even judge myself. Background scriptures Matthew 7 and 1. Judge not that ye not be judged. Now, some of us get so caught up on definitions of judge. In the Old Testament, there were judges. These judges were there to help see, to help see and help affirm the will of the Lord. I take kin to the judge, prophet Deborah in Judges chapter 4, a whole Old Testament book called Judges. And here in Matthew, it's saying, don't judge, lest you be judged. So, you know, hopefully, some sense making, God gave us such an amazing brain that if there's a whole book on judges, and then there's this sermon here that Jesus has given on not judging, then please understand that it's important you don't get caught up on, here we go, the literal, the literal here. What's important is to understand the intention here. Let me tell you something. You got to give yourself grace, and you got to have grace for other people. It's not beneficial for you to walk around condemning everybody. That's not, it's not beneficial. It's not. It, must we be in a position to say yay and nay? Absolutely. Must we be in a position to discern and say, I don't think it's a good practice that you go over there, stay over there. Let's come on this side. Must we make decisions? Absolutely. The book of Judges, it's about these decisions that must be made. And again, I'm akin to Deborah and how she supports this thought through. Think through this. Think through this question of the battle and how to win and if you're going to win and so forth. So it's decision making. And at the same time, the intention is not that we use all of our energy to kill people, to demean and belittle people, that we think we have the authority to put people in a heaven and a hell, that we have the authority to tell people what is the absolute truth for their life. We spend so much energy condemning people. And here's the thing, not only do we kill them, we're killing ourselves. We're killing ourselves with judgment, dehumanizing, debasing ourselves. Yeah. Yes, we have. Yes, we have. And I'm encouraging you today. It's not just about focusing on the fact that we've judged others, but how have you judged yourself? Because the same way that you judge yourself, that's what you're doing to others. I've told people, the foundations of domestic violence and child abuse and sexism and classism and racism, it's got the same DNA. You don't like yourself, so you got to try to make me feel small so you can feel big. I've been there. I didn't really feel adequate about myself. So the way to feel adequate about myself. Just try to make you feel small so I can feel big. No need, no need, no need, no need. Let me give you something to go with this. It's one of my favorites. I can't say that I've memorized it verbatim. I'm gonna go to Proverbs. Listen, this is how you answer Matthew 7:1. Judge unless you be judged. This is how you answer. Proverbs 3:4. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Mercy, mercy. Bind them about thy neck and write them on the tablet of your heart. Mercy, grace, and mercy. Doesn't mean we're not without lessons, but there's a way for us to have a lesson. And it's not about having to kill each other, to condemn each other, to it's not about that. Accountability is different. It's different from dehumanizing someone. It's different. It's different. We can hold each other accountable to education, hold each other to accountable to the education of who we really are as a beloved offspring of God. Hold each other accountable to let's get better at telling the truth. Let's tell the truth. And sometimes you may have to go over here and be still and know. I may have to do a timeout. Be still and know. I may have to rotate you out of this organization so you can take a moment to be still and know. The service has in there's a time and a season for all things. There's a way to do this. Even Jesus told Judas, do what you got to do and do it quickly. Because you will need to deal with your own story and see if you can give grace to yourself and mercy to yourself so that you can then make the transformation that's in you to be made. But this right here, let not mercy and truth forsake thee, bind them around your neck, write them on the table of your heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge God, and God will direct your path. Be wise not in your own eyes. Fear the Lord. Reverence the Lord. Understand. Make the Lord. Make God. Make that part of you, that highest part of you, God in you, the priority. We do that, then that's how we answer Matthew 7:1. It's a better way to do it, y'all. It's a better way. But I am telling you, stop judging yourself. Stop beating yourself up. Yes, you can hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself accountable. But always know, always start in the garden. Go back to the garden that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And so is she. So is he. Let's go back there. And we can hold each other accountable. We can rotate people out. We can rotate them in. We can say be still, time out, all of that. We can do all of that, and still honor each other. Yeah, yeah. I'm working with that. I'm embracing that for myself. Because a lot of what you're going through, a lot of what you do is because you don't know who you are. Isn't that what happened with Adam and Eve? They didn't know who they were. However literal or figurative the story is, they were already made in the image of God, but they had to listen to this other conversation saying, if you do this, you'll be like God. You were already like God, but you judged yourself. And when you judge yourself, you put yourself in situations, and then you want to put other people in the same situations. Stop judging yourself. Come on, get up, get on up, get on up. Come on, let's get up. Let's start all over. Let's get up. Let's start over. There's time. This is Pastor Bishop Jeffrey Robertson preached a message, and he had a one line that I grabbed. It's still time on the clock for a comeback. There's still time on the clock for a comeback. You watching this, you're breathing, then you got breath in your body. You got time to redo this thing and come on back to love yourself, to love God, love yourself, to embrace love. Love yourself. Know who you are from the garden. hmm And then you go from there. If we can't help each other, we can't support each other, assist each other in love with that premise in mind, then just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Because you can't heal what you don't love. You don't heal what you judge or condemn or kill or beat up. You heal what you love. hmm Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Work with it. Work with it. I'm done. I'm out. Work with it. Love you. God bless you. Like and share. Bye. Take care. See ya.